Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a comeback story anymore. This is a takeover, a brutal, clinical, mentally bulletproof takeover by a rider who has redefined pain, pressure, and patience all in one season. Marc Marquez, the 8-time world champion, the gladiator who once lay broken in the gravel with a shattered arm, is now 93 points clear of his factory Ducati teammate Pecco Bagnaia. 93. The most ominous number in MotoGP history, now stamped on the championship gap like a final warning to the rest of the field. But how did we get here? Let's go back a little. The mental demons and a man who refused to crack. This wasn't supposed to be easy. Not even for Marc, because when he crashed at COTA, a track he owns, the whispers came out. And when he folded again at Jerez after dominating the sprint, the whispers turned into noise. Has he lost his edge? Can the Ducati finally tame the beast? But Marc Marquez isn't like the others. Where some crumble, he reconstructs. Where some sulk, he recalibrates. He said the bike felt good, that Ducati understood the mistakes. But we all saw it. Something wasn't clicking. He was rattled, not in fear, but in calculation. You see, when a genius stumbles, he doesn't just recover, he rewrites the equation. And then came Aragon, where the iron grip was forged. This is where it all shifted, where the tactical genius of Marc Marquez unfolded in terrifying layers. Free practice, solid, but not flashy. Sprint, calm, calculated, missed the win by a whisker. Main race, devastation. From turn 1, he launched. Precision like a scalpel, tire management like a veteran monk. Pressure, he dined on it. Alex Marquez, his own brother, was supposed to challenge him. He did, but only until lap 6. After that, it was game over. And here's the real killer. The entire paddock was watching him manage that front end, the same front end that nearly betrayed him at Silverstone. No drama, no panic, because the real battle wasn't against the bike anymore. It was within. He overcame the final hurdle, fear of Sunday mistakes. And once that disappeared, the rest of the grid entered Marc Marquez's personal playground. Untouchable once he feels it. You can throw tires at him. You can throw teammates at him. You can throw weather, strategy, chaos. Nothing matters. Because when Marc Marquez feels the front end, it's over. Thailand? Argentina? Austin before the crash? He was 2, sometimes 3 seconds ahead of Pecco Bagnaia. And Pecco is no rookie. He's a 2-time world champion. Yet he looked like he was riding a different class of machine. That's not a bike difference. That's Marc Marquez understanding how to unlock a machine that others still whisper about in press debriefs. He's tight-lipped about changes, but the paddock knows something went back, something familiar, something from early 2024, something that gave him that feeling again. And when Marc has that feeling, you don't just lose, you drown. Alex Marquez, the last man standing. Ironically, the only man who seems capable of holding a candle to Marc right now is his own blood. Alex Marquez, Gresini's golden son, fast, ferocious, and emotionally ice-cold when needed. He beat Marc in one sprint, challenged him in multiple races, kept him honest at Aragon, but Marc always had more. Why? Because of what Lewis Duncan perfectly described. That's the tactical genius of Marc. He lets you think the door's open, so you change your riding, and he punishes you for it. Alex knows this game better than anyone, and still, even he struggles to win it. Now let's talk about the most uncomfortable seat in the paddock right now. The one right next to Marc Marquez. Pecco Bagnaia, the 2-time champ, the man who gave Ducati their rebirth, the one who defended the fortress. But in 2025, he's been swallowed by the beast he once rode to glory. And here's the cruel twist. His data? Shared openly within the garage. Riders learn from Pecco, apply his smoothness, his lines, his braking control. But Marc's data? Oh no. You try copying Marc Marquez's data, and you'll end up 20 feet deep into gravel. Even the engineers know what he does on a bike is borderline unnatural. Pecco knows it too. He's been watching it happen all year. And finally, at Aragon, we saw a glimpse of fight. Some updates came. Something clicked. He got a podium. But was it a breakthrough? Or was it Ducati throwing him a bone ahead of Mugello? His home race. Let's be brutally honest. He's fighting against a storm inside his own box. And for the first time, he doesn't have the answers. Here comes Jorge Martin, 2024 world champion, the man who won it for Pramac. The rider Ducati should have chosen, but didn't. Instead, they signed Marc, and now Martin rides for Factory Aprilia. But is he happy? No, because the rumors are everywhere. Jorge is looking for a way out, a contract escape, a lifeline back to a bike that can win. Aprilia acted fast, shut the door, stamped down the fire, but it was too late. The whispers are growing again. Martin knows he's not in a title fight this year. He's been injured, he's been unlucky, and now he's watching the rider Ducati picked over him dominate the season with an iron grip. It stings, and don't think for a second that Marc doesn't know that. He wears that decision like armor. Ducati chose him for a reason, and now everyone sees it. Next stop, Mugello, and Pecco will be home. He'll have the crowd, the pressure, the noise, the legacy on the line, but Marc Marquez will have the momentum. He has broken free of the mental chains. The crashes at Coda and Jerez are behind him. His sprint wins are stacking up. His race pace is brutal, and he's not cracking anymore. He's absorbing, he's learning, and then he's striking. What's left for the others? Hope? Prayers? Pecco might have a flash of glory. Alex may pounce if Marc blinks. Martin may rage his way to a miracle ride. But the truth? This season is slipping away from everyone not named Marc Marquez. This isn't just about a title. This is about reasserting the natural order. About Marc Marquez proving that he was never finished, that Honda never defined him, that the arm injury, the surgeries, the tears were just part of the rebirth. He took the GP23 in 2024 and shocked everyone. He got the factory seat in 2025. Not handed, earned. And now Ducati looks like it was built for him. He's looking at a 9th world title. But more than that, he's building something scary, a dynasty. Because when you give a rider like Marc Marquez the best bike, a clear head, and revenge in his veins, you don't just lose, you witness history. The future trembles, and while the present burns, the future just lit up. Toprak Razgatlioglu has signed with Pramac Yamaha for 2026, and Jack Miller, after all the effort, all the fighting, has to step aside. Harsh? That's MotoGP. Toprak saw what Marc did with the GP23 in 2024 and knew this is the window, a year of proving himself. And maybe, just maybe, if Ducati sees it again, doors will open. Marc did it once. Toprak is watching, and everyone else should too. Final chapter, the reign of tactical brutality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a feel-good story. This is not a comeback tale tied in a red bow. This is war. Marc Marquez has weaponized strategy. He has destroyed narratives. He has absorbed pressure, turned it into poison, and unleashed it on the field. His 93-point lead isn't luck, it's legacy, and it's growing. One corner, one lap, one mind-bending, soul-shattering move at a time. Welcome to the reign of tactical brutality, and unless something changes drastically, fast, Marc Marquez will not just win, he will leave them behind, forever.